So this JUND reanimation deck I designed specially to perform well against the current mid-range meta that are taking over the standard ranked, and I thought what is a better place than Mythic to try and test out this JUND reanimation deck. So let's go together and check out the deck tech and what makes this deck so amazing against all the mid-range decks that are currently played. And this deck I had already for a while, I think maybe almost over a month, because I was testing it out, but usually in Platinum and Diamond I always discovered that I'm facing more jankier versions if I play JUND reanimation than some sort of meta. And then yesterday I just hit my Mythic and I thought this is the perfect time to now be introduced to JUND reanimation spells, because I think this deck is just amazing against all the mid-range decks. Why? Because mid-range tries to go a slower approach similar to Control, but with a very powerful creature spells that can take over the game by themselves, for example like Sheoldred and so on. This is why I want to abuse the fact that mid-range decks takes longer to pay some powerful spells and pay in this time much more powerful spells. For example, here you see maybe on the right side we have Toxtril, we have Titan of course, and we have our Cityscape Leveler. Those spells are the horror for every mid-range decks, but also Toxtril is just amazing against all the creature matchups, soldiers, mono white. Mono red will beat us, usually aggro approaches are really difficult for us, it really comes up to what are we drawing and how we are drawing. Where you see maybe at the beginning we have a lot of interaction with Cut Down, Go for Throat and Tear Asunder, but also our Bloodtide Harvester can help us against soldiers because they need a little bit to establish this white board to really kill us, and Bloodtide Harvester is really good to deal with it. But everything comes down to the mid-range, so if a mid-range deck is facing us, we have a lot of tools to deal with them, not only with exiling their graveyard and getting our Hearse bigger, but also against reanimation targets, so mirror matchups is Hearse just an amazing tool, but also with our Unleash the Inferno, but also Burn Down the House is just a sugar addition against mid-range, because we can reset the board in the following turn, even do more broken things than the mid-range decks can afford. And then of course we have an amazing pattern, and yes, we play against Fable of the Chikibriki because it's just a very powerful card, especially in reanimation deck, because this allows us to reanimate our targets on turn 4, and I had some games against soldiers already where I reanimate my Toxtril on turn 4 with our Cruelty of Gix, because the treasure token got produced, and then we can turn 4 already cast our Cruelty of Gix and reanimate our Toxtril. This is usually a GG for any soldier player, even if they top deck Brutal Qatar, still and the turn afterwards we can remove the Brutal Qatar with Cut Down or Go for Throat or Tear Asunder or our Bloodtide Harvester, where Toxtril comes back and the -1 effect again hit the board on our soldiers. And for the mana base I went with 27 lands. Why? Because we have Soul of Windgrace, a 4 mana 5/3, and I think currently in the standard this is one of the most effective and most powerful ramp spells that we can have, because on 4 mana we ramp into the turn 6 and on the turn 5 we ramp into the turn 7, so we can easily cast already on turn 5 our Titan of Industry even if we don't reanimate it, because Soul of Windgrace has just amazing ability. If we discard our lands with Fable of the Chikibriki, what we usually do, or also with our blood tokens to find some action maybe, if Soul of Windgrace hits the board, he gets us the cards back that we put back, or the lands that we put into our graveyard, and constantly keeps on putting the cards back as soon as we start attacking. And we have also some extra abilities with discarding lands and gain life or draw cards or give our Soul of Windgrace indestructibility. This is why you see maybe here in mana base over Retreat Outlook, a JUND spell that finds us our basic lands. This is why we also run 3 of Black Swamps, 2 of Mountains and 1 Forest, just in case we need the forest. Usually we never have the issue with green mana because we have also some treasure production or also some card filtering with Bitter Reunion. And Bitter Reunion has another really nice synergy here, because not only we can play now our Titan of Industry earlier, and if we have Fable of the Chikibriki just flipped, we can instantly pop our Bitter Reunion and start coping with our Chikibriki, the Titan of Industry. This is just a GG combo that almost no deck can recover from it, and except they have an instant exile effect. But enough with the chit chat, I'm sure you wanna see this deck in action, so let's go together and see how this deck will perform in the Mythic ladder. And here we are on our Mythic ladder. Yesterday just hit it freshly, as I already mentioned in the intro, and I think this is a really good opening hand. And Mythic, I think, is the best place for this sort of decks, because we want to abuse and we play against somebody that is really close to numbers. I hope he's not gonna be mad to me. I started at 91% and I needed 2 wins to get to 92. I don't know what's currently going on, but the meta... It's really early in the morning, need a little bit metal coffee. try to cast my Blood Tide Harvester turn 1. It will be a really amazing creature if this will be a turn 1 play. But let's hope the Metal Cafe will help me to wake up a little bit. And soldiers, okay, so this is already a really interesting matchup. Let's see if we can find our possibilities, I would say even. We can attack, let's see if my opponent wants to block, because maybe he has something bigger, something better, something stronger in his repertoire. And sure, not a biggie, my friend. So let's get rid of these lands and let's see what we're gonna hit. Hers I don't think I will need right now. We're gonna hit some basics. Okay. How are we gonna do that now? I want to cycle them, to be honest. So I'm gonna remove the Siege Veteran. Attack with the Goblin. And end the turn. I wanna see what. Okay, sure. Still no good attacks from my opponent. My turn. River Treat, you say, huh? Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. So my foe is now Unleash the Inferno on Veteran and 10. Let's take... How much green do we have, just in case? Just one source? Let's take one more green. Just in case my... Hele. Because this comes tapped. But it's okay. So just in case my opponent has something to prevent this Unleash the Inferno, and usually artifacts do not... soldiers do not run any artifacts. This is why let's go in. Maybe not the smartest decision to go for the flying things with my Brutal Cathar, because I can... or Blood Tide Harvester, because I could have copied it with Cheeky Brique. But this is not a biggie. My opponent takes a Reflection, sure. Let's cycle one of Ziatora's Proving Grounds. Let's see what we're gonna hit from the top. Burn down the house. Oof. Oof. So let's attack in this case. Burn down house is also an amazing tool against our soldiers, so let's play also our Blood Tide Harvester. Let's see if my opponent has something else. And do I cycle the Ziatora? No, I need the mana, I think, for now. Because we are already in reach of Titan, right? 6, 7, 8, yeah, more than in reach. I could have also cycled. So our Titan, all our things. My opponent decides to turn it to nighttime. This is okay. I'm gonna show my opponent how it works here. He has the flashy thingy. Sure. Let's take the 6 damage, who cares, right? Like, I don't. I'm gonna pay it. Pay it twice. It's not a biggie. Yes. Could have also sweep, but I don't wanna sweep. Yes, pay another. Who cares again? If I control the board like this against soldiers, nobody cares. Right? This will give me the possibility to cycle something, again ramp into something, and maybe do some other broken things. And we're gonna see if my opponent... End the turn. Good, no? I like it. I like it, like it. I like it, like it. Yeah, sure. Sure, my friend. Can we ditch the land, please? Oof. Soul of Windgrace. Actually a good card here. Actually a good card here. Return... Do I have one left? I think I have black source left, right? Yeah, at least 2 of them. Yes, two black sources. Really important to keep track of your basics in the mana base, also in the library, but also here how many lands do you have. So always keep in mind what the count is. Opponent decides to attack. I'm gonna take it, of course, of course. As more my opponent overextends on the board, as better it is for me. As more he does things like this, all fine, all fine. Because we have enough tools to do a lot of other things. Now it's nighttime. Let's cast another Fable. Interesting that we don't draw anything else here. Let's go with the tokens, because currently he can kill one and also trade with that other one if he wants to. If not, it will be painful for him. But I want to do it now because he has this land that I don't want to hover over here on the right side. Because, yeah, that he can activate and make them a little bit bigger. So it's good trade for me with this token, because this will allow me to do more things. And let's see if my opponent decides to attack now. No, he doesn't. Okay. So still nighttime. Wow, another cheeky bricky, huh? Game. When there's a chance that I draw something better than cheeky bricky? Decline. Let's play another one. And next turn we can go almost infinite with our chickies. This is also something nice in my opponent's turn. So we top decked or drawed or kept a really good opening hand against the soldiers. Because this is how you need to keep the hands against soldiers. Let's go in. Let's create some tokens. Let's see what my opponent has else to offer. Don't think there is anything else to offer. Sure. Oh no, he can pump them still. He can still pump them, sure. Pass. I forgot about that, my misplay, but who cares, right? Who cares? Let's put some tokens on the board. And let's see what we can do from here, because I think next turn I'm gonna go infinite with my cheeky brickies, and then it's gonna be GG for my opponent. It's already GG, he just don't wanna believe it. Like, he just don't wanna see it. Because he's in numbers, and soldiers, give me something else. Nice land. Sure, let's go infinite. I'm gonna show you now how you can go with two chickies infinite if you have one of them ready to go. I usually like to put the end stop, because games sometimes like to skip and don't know it. Depends on the update, so it can be game changing. Okay, nice, good game. Okay, sure. The 10th. Let's go next. Oh, 93. So here we are, going second against Daniel. On the draw, this is actually a good hand. This is actually a good hand. We can cut down some early drops, Lily, some powerful drops, and then maybe start with the Windgrace. But also depends what is my opponent playing, because so far maybe Azorius Soldiers again? Wow. Wow. Okay, let's put some pressure on the board, because Bitter Reunion is better against something else, but my opponent can also be some bent action. By the way, I want to look into the bent action. I like bent. Let's play... Like, I cannot play around the thingy, right? So let's attack first. Let's play you. Let's play you. Let's put a land into the graveyard, because I'm still not sure what my opponent is running. Sky City Leveler. Sky City Leveler with the Wandering Emperor sitting ready to be flashed in. Do I want my opponent to flash in the Wandering Emperor? I don't think so. So let's provoke it, right? Like, let's say, hey, do you have it or do you not have it? Let's attack my opponent's hand. Ah, Memory Deluge, okay, perfect. Perfect, because this way I can also attack now with my Bloodtide Harvester, and if my opponent runs Depopulate Bloodtide Harvester, gonna draw us a card. Everything has a sense in this deck, and I think this deck has a is a contender. Let's get rid of Countdown. Is a contender to be a tier 1 deck. Actually, to be a good tier 1 deck. So, end the turn. Now my opponent needs to deal somehow with Lily. And by tier 1, because I beat midrange in 8 out of 10 games, control is 50-50, depends what sort of control. Mono blue is a pain for us, and the really aggressive mono red, especially going first, is really difficult to recover from. Sure. So my opponent is some sort of control-ish dude here with 2 mana left. I would have done it differently, right? I would have rather creating 2 cards than two. So let's play Soul of Windgrace. Return the Overlook. Ramp a little bit us into a green source. I mean, we have enough green, but sure. Ziatora Proving Ground. Plusing on another Cityscape Leveler. Depopulate, you see? So if he would have depopulate our Bloodtide Harvester, it will draw a card. Also Soul of Windgrace draws a card if he depopulates it. If he wants to depopulate it. But we're gonna see. So next turn, if I see it right, no, I don't see it right, we need 1 more land, 2 more lands, but our Soul of Windgrace will find us these lands, and this land we're gonna keep. Why? Simple reason, because...
Don't overthink things.
So indestructibility, do not play around Wandering Emperor, and I suspect my opponent having the Wandering Emperor the way he was playing before. If my opponent plays the Wandering Emperor... No. You see? This is why I think Mythic rank is easier to play than Platinum or Diamond, because you can pre-read the opponents much easier, because they play common decks. They play decks that I know I'm gonna play, and they play things that I know they are having in their deck. If I play in Platinum or in Diamond, bro, I sometimes encounter decks that I think like, why? What do you have there? Why are you playing it? But this is what catches me off guard, right? So this is definitely something to look out for. My opponent do not have enough mana now to cast his Memory Deluge. Also only 3 mana left, maybe to draw a card and gain some life. My opponent creates another creature, sure.
Let your blade do the talking.
That's not a biggie. So before this happens, we're gonna discard a land and draw a land. Oh, Daniel had enough. Card advantage, cult filtration, we can do with this whatever we want. This is why we played smart, we played good, outplayed the Azorius control, and you see, this is why I mean 50-50. Depends how you play and what you draw, you can perform against Azorius control or control decks too. Important here, we started with a terrible hand for control. You remember maybe we started with Cut Down and Unleash the Inferno. This is not good for control players or against control players, but we managed it smart and played it enough. Let me pat myself on the back. Let's go next. Here we are on the draw against 7x, and this is a terrible hand to be on the draw. 7x I used to have a buddy. Wow, game. Wow. I cannot mulligan again. I mulliganed already once, and this is still a shitty hand. But sure, let's keep this one. Let's bottom Cruelty, and let's hope that this is not an aggro deck, because, yeah. This is how the game tells you, you need to lose. Oh, wow, 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 wow. This gives us actually a chance. Actually, but I'm not sure about that. Okay. Okie dokie, my friend, okie dokie. Bitter Reunion, not gonna cast it now, but later for sure. Gonna cut down the freaking Kumano. Okay. This is an aggressive start from our mono red opponent. This is why it will be difficult. Actually, wait a second. We gain a little bit of life back, so we negate this thingy, and we need... No, we have everything. Let's go for the Black Source. Let's play the Bitter Reunion. Let's go for the Reach. Yeah, this is possible. Next turn, Soul of Windgrace. Gonna see if my opponent has the... whatchamacallin'? Chick, double chick is problematic. Okay, let's go with you. Let's go with Soul of Windgrace, and let's see if my opponent has a burn spell in the hand. If is this the case, then my god, so be it, right? So be it. Let's lose it. But if he doesn't have a burn spell, we have a theoretical chance to do here things. Merchandise. This no, I miscalculated. This is 3 damage in the air. So sugar start from my opponent. We mulligan, we did everything we could, but mono red, as I told, mono red on the play, as I said in intro, is a really powerful deck for anyone, and our deck is not designed to beat these matchups, although we were super close, super close. If this mono red player would have drawn a little bit weaker, super close, super close. You saw maybe he didn't have any burn spells, so if I would have early, like Bloodtide Harvester, I mean, the last card, most likely it's not a burn spell, maybe it's some land or something else. But Bloodtide Harvester, definitely here, will be a game changer. Blocking the adversary and then also removing the Kumano will be super powerful. And then with his 2 warfares, if I would have swept the chicks, GG, right? Like, there is no recovery from it. Soul of Windgrace gain us life, gain us a card advantage. Now Cheeky Bricky also would have been. So, a little bit... And here we are again against Omk, with our Toxrill in the hand. If we top deck Fable of the Cheeky Brick, it's theoretically turn 4 Toxrill. So if this is an aggro deck, we have theoretically a chance. So let's see. Theoretically, this is a good chance. But we're gonna take out my green source, I believe, because red is there, black is there. Or do I go for red so I don't take the pain? I think I go for red to not take a pain, just in case my opponent is an aggro deck. Right? Right. Because we can still take here the green source if we need for something for green. We're gonna take the red source to not take the pain to play Bitter Reunion, because the Sulfurous Spring is a painland. Opponent with the Sleeper is okay. We are with our Bitter Reunion. Discarding Toxrill. I mean, they have Graveyard Trespasser, but hey, this is turn 4 Toxrill now. If my opponent don't has a removal for the Treasure, right? Turn 4 Toxrill is coming, and this is something I think my opponent needs to be ready for. But it can happen that my opponent plays also Graveyard Trespasser. So, 2 outcomes. My opponent plays Graveyard Trespasser, Toxrill is gone. My opponent is playing removal on the Cheeky Bricky, turn 4 Toxrill is gone. So then turn 5 Toxrill. But we're gonna see. So, okay, cut down. And most likely Graveyard Trespasser. The worst case scenario will happen, but it's okay. That's okay. Totally fine with it. We're gonna... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, my friend. Oh no, my friend. What are you doing? What are you doing for 1 mana? They usually don't run any enchantment, so we can teach the Bosaiju. This hers is not the... No. I'm missing a black source, huh? Ooh, I'm missing a black source. My opponent has another cut down for the Cheeky Bricky, but it's okay. Scheiße. This is a misplay because I'm not focused enough, right? Like, I should have accounted I don't have a black source to find another black source for my Lily. But so be it, so be it. Let's play hers. And we're gonna prevent maybe Graveyard Trespasser from doing some other things. And the turn. Dumb misplay from me. Pretty dumb misplay. Lily, okay. Lily needs to be careful.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about.
Resolve.
I'm tired of your secrets.
What is he discarding? I discard my Soul of Windgrace. Although this is the only card I can play right now. Should I discard my Lily? Discard my Lily. Because next turn I think I can play Soul of Windgrace, crew the Unlicensed Hearse, go for 2 on the Lily, and then if he minus Lily, she will die, right? So I think this is a viable play that I can make. Although if he has cut down... Oh, sure, he can have cut down how much he wants. Exile my opponent's graveyard. Growing our hearse. I sometimes forget to grow her, I'm not sure why. Okay. What source do we get? We have double black, we have double red, so maybe... I will see what we have in our graveyard there. Another Outlook or Bozaiju for double green. Do we have the basic green already out? Yes. So let's play another Bozaiju to have the double green available. Then let's crew our hearse with Fable of the Cheeky Bricky. And opponent can go next turn Invoke Despair. But this will not be such a big deal, because my hearse can also stand the Proof of Time. And my opponent has also some removal spells here. Next. He wants to keep the cut down for the Cheeky Picky Mickey. Yeah, he has Invoke Despair. You see how he's hovering over Bitter Reunion? He knows it. He knows it. So next turn, sacrifice hearse, sacrifice Bitter Reunion, and for the thing, and give him just 1 card draw.
Luck favors the foolish, after all. Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
Sacrifice Windgrace because I think he can... I can reanimate it. And I think he can do something else. I want him to use the freaking thing now. And next turn I can Bloodtide Harvester, copy Bloodtide Harvester, kill a Wolf Sleeper, and so on, right? Yes. So sacrifice a creature, sacrifice an enchantment. I think this is the right play. I think this is the only right play here. Opponent, let me have my fun. Hoping Bloodtide Harvester. And instantly dealing with a Wolf Sleeper. Next, and the turn. So let's see what else my opponent has to offer, if there will be another thingy. I think another Lily, okay. Sure.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Sacrifice Bloodtide Harvester. go for Throat. Okay. Sure. Next. My turn. Oof, Sky City Leveler, huh? Not bad, but not what I was looking for. So we're gonna go next. Is Mono Black running some haste stuff? No, but he runs Mishra's Foundry. I just saw it now. I saw it before too, but I didn't pay attention to it. And we're gonna end the turn. We have 6 lands, so 2 more to go to cast our Sky City Leveler. This is why I'm not planning to do this next turn. But I can reanimate our Toxtril. Sure. Sacrifice you. The question is, will Toxtril be enough, right? This is always the question, is Toxtril enough to do what I want to do? Submit you. Let's see what we're gonna draw. There are many outs that I have currently, but best of them will be Titan. But this is not a Wunsch concert here. So let's go and reanimate our Soul of Windgrace, because we have a land in the hand. We can start drawing cards with it. Or gaining life. So instantly reanimate. Now from my graveyard, we're gonna go for Soul of Windgrace, because I think Toxtril will not survive it. Like, it doesn't matter. And he has no value right now. Against Mono Black, there is no much value against it. Let's draw a card of it. Discard the land. Draw another one. Good one. And play. Again, I didn't pay attention. We have double, black, green, a red source must be there, and one black source, right? Yeah. So one red, one black should be there. Yes, exactly how I said. More red. No, more black. Let's go for more black. And no tax, because he has double Mishra's Foundry, and if he casts something like Invoke Despair or something else, I want to have my thingies. And currently also he has only, for Corrupt, if he runs Corrupt, only 4 basics, so it will deal only 4 damage. Just in case my opponent runs Corrupt, it's usually what they run in this constellation. So Omk, putting here a fight, and this is totally fine. If my opponent... As I said, Toxtril for me was the weakest creature I can have in the graveyard right now. Sky City Leveler will be a much more impactful creature. You wanna lose both of your lands? Looks like it. Sure. Damn attack. Sure. Gonna take it. I think my opponent is desperate to kill me. He's like, I'm so close, I'm so close. But, oh, yeah. Oh, no! Ah, green source. But I don't have green sources anymore. No, game. So I can cast City Leveler, kill him, discard something else, but I think Soul of Windgrace will be better here. No Mishra's Foundry, I need a green source. No, there is no green sources, there's just one more red source. Sure. One more red source. We need a green source, game. Give me a green source. Give me a green source. No good attacks from my opponent, except he removes the Soul of Windgrace, but currently not many things can remove Soul of Windgrace. Surely is maybe a problem. Surely is maybe a problem. But I think our Sky City Leveler gonna deal with the Surely. Except my opponent attacks with Graveyard Trespasser. And gonna sacrifice it to Soul of Windgrace. To deal with us. No, he doesn't. Okay, this is great. This is actually really good. Resolve. Let's do it. Let's say next. Let's attack. Let's deal with Shirley. Currently the problem I have is my opponent top decks Invoke Despair. I'm gonna lose, right? Because I have only 4 life. So let's cycle the thingy. Yes! Yes, one more turn. One more turn and we're winning, right? But if opponent now top decks Invoke Despair, we're done. We're lost. Unearth don't even count as a spell, you saw it. Okay. Go for throat, is not it. No. He found it. He found it. He found the solution in 1 turn. Yavla fita, yavla fita. Okay, happens, happens. Good game, my friend, good game. Definitely very good game, very lucky, very unlucky, whatever you want to call it, but I think this is representation enough for this sort of deck, and this deck performs super good. I'm gonna check out the win rate. I'm maybe gonna put it in the thumbnail or maybe blend it somewhere else in the post-editing, or let me check. Maybe we have time for another one. 33 minutes currently recording. I make some cuts usually, so 30 minutes. Let's make another one. So 40 minutes I think is enough, but let's do another one. And here we are against Palulumen. And how amazing was this game against Mono Black? I liked it really much. It was actually a really good game. Even though if we lost, I think this game was always like up and down, and this is what makes Magic really, really good. And really interesting to play. Looks like my opponent is on some sort of legendary, maybe Esper, maybe Soldiers, maybe whatever. They run there, but Jesus, if I would top deck another green source for Titan, I would have destroyed him so hard. I would have destroyed him so hard. Not gonna attack. Don't want to attack right now. I want to see what my opponent can present on the board. Okay, another officer. And another veteran. Okay. We are still trading. But I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade against soldiers. Usually I want to keep my Bloodtide Harvester to kill the flying dudes, but I think because I have burned down the house, I feel a little bit safe. And we have double red for burn down the house, yes. So let's do it like that. Let's see what we're gonna draw for the next turn. Discarding the black source. A cheeky? Okay, then we're gonna trade. Because if we would have top decked something else, I would have considered to maybe not to trade, just in case it will be too slow or something else. But I think cheeky gives me enough possibilities or enough options to deal with this board, to deal with my opponent. And we're gonna see what our Fable will find me to. Definitely looking to cycle Forest. Takuma is a good land, I like it to keep in my hand because it can go deep into the graveyard. And this is why I would like to keep it. But hey. And I believe my opponent gonna throw up next turn on the board. This is why I'm also not looking really to burn everything here. If I top deck a spot removal for Muriel, then I will remove her, obviously. But if I don't, I will keep the token just back as a blocker. Cycle my Takuma, depends what we're gonna get here with the Fable. And then the turn following, when he throws up on the board with everything here, I'm gonna burn down the house, everything, right? This is what I'm planning to do. But it depends on what Fable will find. We also need 5 lands, don't forget about it, to really be effective. No blocks. This is not what I was looking for. So let's see what we're gonna top deck here. Okay, we have another red source. Let's put things into the graveyard. Lily, okay. I'm gonna take the Bloodtide Harvester for the simple reason... because the next Fable of the Cheeky Bricky can copy also the Bloodtide Harvester. This is a long-term win condition that I have in mind. So just in case my opponent don't show up on the board now, we'll just attack with Muriel. Do not overextend. Let's say this is why I want my opponent now to overextend. Then this will give me the possibility to keep on the removal coming, right? This is why I think Bloodtide Harvester has a little bit more value. And soldiers tend to go wide, so they tend to have a lot of tokens that they can sacrifice to Lily. And if we are on the draw, Lily is not the best planeswalker we can have. This is why I have only 2 copies of it, because on the draw she's really bad. Like by turn 4, usually opponents have few creatures that they value and few creatures that do not value. And this is what I meant. He's overextending on the board like a freaker because he wants to create more tokens with Muriel, right? More tokens with Muriel means he can produce more damage later on. But because he overextended this way, he can draw a card with Officer, yes, but this is a small downside to what is gonna come to him next turn. Go for it, my friend, go for it. So we're gonna take out the 4 damage, obviously, just to prevent the life loss. And then burn down the house, our Fable. Sad, but hey, Fable in exchange of this board that you see on top, 24/7, 5 days a week, as I said. My opponent, the Palulu man, seems to not being available fully. Maybe he's a little bit distracted or has something private there going on. Not gonna judge, but gives us more time to talk about this deck. As I said, I think this deck has a clear potential to be a super powerful tier 1 deck. With some slight adjustment and some additions that we will receive now with Pyrexia All Will Be One. By the way, I'm still working on the video to make you my top combo cards enabled from Pyrexia to All Will Be One, so it will be, as Dino suggested or similar. I thought it would be a really cool idea to introduce you... my opponent is sleeping. To introduce you cards from Pyrexia will be one that have the combo potential with current cards in standard. There will be some really cool combos, so definitely do not miss it out. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe to my channel so you gonna receive it. And ring the bell, I don't know if it helps YouTube algorithm or whatever, to receive all these notifications. So let's go and sweep it. 5 damage to everything. Everything is gonna die, resetting the board a little bit, and then we're gonna follow up with our Fable and see what my opponent can do there with his 3 cards left. Not much, Gompon goes for card advantage, it is okay. Oof, okay. Not the best draw, but hey, a draw nonetheless. And gonna keep the Sky City Leveler for our Fable of the Cheeky Bricky, because we want to cycle things to maybe find some other solutions. And let me see, can I cast already? I have 6, 7, yeah, so if with a treasure token from my Fable, I can cast already Titan of Industry if I top deck him. And Titan of Industry will be most likely a good game for my opponent, except he top decks something like Brutal Qatar, but this is also not a big game. The opponent takes out, interestingly, my thingy. Siege Veteran, okay. Okay. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Next, no blocks. Need a Treasure. Let's cycle you. Okay. So opponent can pump the next turn, right? He can put here something, here something. How good will it be? Not super effective, right? Right. Okay. Let's cycle the land now, just in case we top deck another land, so we can play it out, because there is currently... so there is currently nothing else to do. And let's see what my opponent has to offer next. Smart will be from my opponent to turn it to nighttime, so just attack, turn it to nighttime. But I think my opponent is looking to finish me off as soon as possible. He has also 4 mana, so he can find almost everything he wants in his deck. And it's okay too. Not what I was looking for, to be honest, but sure, right? Autopay. Let's go attack. Destroy the Brutal Qatar. Get my Blood-Tide Harvester back. Go for 8. And let's get the Black Sources out. Let's see if we can find maybe Toxtril from the top. If not, we can still cycle with our Blood Token. And now it's also nighttime, so opponent's Brutal Qatars are not necessarily hitting me so hard. Opponent looting. For the flyer, sure. But the flyer dies to the combo of Brutal Qatar, of Blood-Tide Harvester, right? So my opponent maybe don't think about it right now. But we're gonna see. Jesus. So. This case, we are doing the following. We are copying our Brutal Qatar, our Blood-Tide Harvester, destroying the flyer here on top. Even if he pumps everything, this is not a biggie, right? I mean, I'm tempted to sweep, but I have such a good board to sweep that it's not really necessary. So let's do it like this. Let's attack. Create another treasure token. Maybe my opponent wants to take a trade somewhere. I'm still looking for my Toxtril. I want to show you the Toxtril action. Because I think against soldiers, this is just a super fun card. Super fun card. And my opponent don't have a good attack next turn because I have the blood tokens that can kill a veteran, for example, or I can triple block one recruitment officer and he will die to it. I don't want to burn down the house because then it will let me with pants down, right? Then this will be not so good, because then I rely on the top deck and my opponent has still things to draw, still things to project. This way, every turn we remove a creature after creature after creature, and if it gets too big, too high, we can steal Blood-Tide Harvester, sacrifice him too, and then do more things. That's okay, my opponent going white, now pump everything, totally fine. Bloodtide Harvester take Veteran next turn out, will be also really good. But let's see. And my opponent needs to be really careful not to run into a lethal by overextending here a little bit. If he attacks all with something, that I can create suddenly Bloodtide Harvester stuff. Because he's also an 8, don't forget it. He's an aggro deck and he's on the same life as me as a mid-range deck. So this is something to also take account into. Okay, my opponent don't has any good attacks. Let's do the action again. Let's remove the Veteran. And now let's cycle, because even if I top deck the Titan, I think I cannot cast it and copy it, right? I could have if I attack with my thingy, but I don't think it's necessary. Autopay. So, let's get some thingy, let's get some stuff going here. Next, attack with the token. I think now it's a GG for him. Titan top deck. Next turn, copying Titan soldiers, adieu. You can draw as much as you want, there is not much you can do about it. This is not an answer. This is why I didn't put a shield counter on it. It's not an answer, literally. Like, take Tikiki and take whatever you want. You need to deal with the Titan, you need to deal with all the tokens. Let's go all in. This is what my opponent wanted. This is what he deserves. Bam, bam, bam. Difficult block, of course. But this is what happens if Titan attacks. Sorry. I think he realized it. Salute. Choked myself because the soldiers tried to block Titan. Anyway, I think now it's a representation enough. Sadly, we didn't saw our Toxrill in action. Especially against soldiers. I have sometimes really fun games here. Yesterday at night I was testing the deck also here in the Mythic ladder, because as I said, I believe this deck is amazing in Mythic, but in the previous ranks, because I think against another jank decks, it depends on the draw, but this deck has the potential definitely to win everything you want to put in the play. And it's a really interesting, I want to say at least tier 2 deck to perform in Mythic, but also a very entertaining one to play off-meta deck. Powerful off-meta deck, what do you want more? And I think this is how I'm gonna call my title. Powerful off-meta reanimation deck. But anyway, JUND is a super powerful color. I think JUND receives with Perex of the one amazing abilities. This is why don't craft too much cards from here. If you like this deck, craft some, but save. If you don't have the Titans, for example, don't craft the Titans, or craft one, because Titan is amazing reanimation target. If you don't have Toxrill, don't craft, because there will be some amazing creatures to reanimate in one, but also in JUND. So green receives super powerful creatures and super powerful spells that we want to use in this deck. It will fit perfectly in this deck. There are some oil counter synergy, there are some other things, so don't craft this deck, but if you have the most of it, definitely go for it, because it's a super powerful off-meta deck that destroys midrange, or is super powerful. And as I said, 8 out of 10 games against midrange you wanna win, because we are just doing better things than a midrange deck does. And against aggro, mono red will beat you. Soldiers and mono white and so on, not really. They have difficulties. We have good removal spells. We have fitting thingies. And control is also 50-50. 5 out of 10 games you will win. It depends on the draw. It depends how we play. And it depends how you play. You saw maybe in the one game against Zorus control. But otherwise, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think about this deck. And I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.